And good morning. It's 7:04 on this Monday, May 2nd. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Well, hello everybody. It's a Monday and the sun is shining and it is the month of May. How much better does it get? I don't know. Well, good morning again and welcome to our program presented by Absolute Kubota. T.R. Kirby is back to do the commercials during the month of May. And T.R., good morning.
Good morning, Coleman.
Nice to see you.
You too.
I hope things are going well.
Yes, sir. They are down at 1506 West Main.
Absolute Kubota, 1506 West Main, where they sell Kubota tractors, hay equipment, zero-turn mowers, and RTVs. And understand you're pretty much the hay equipment guy. You maybe know more about hay equipment than some of the others with all your life experiences.
Yes, sir. They usually refer them to me just because of the type of customer and the particular programs and just the service needs they need and need to know about the product, on how to service it, take care of it, what to look out for, and then what product to choose as well.
Well, I know Don and I have talked quite a bit about the Kubota tractors in the last few weeks during the month of April, but people start cutting hay and putting hay up usually during the month of May. Your first hay crop is in May. Maybe not this soon. This is just the second, but in a couple of weeks there'll be hay being cut, won't there?
Yes, sir. I've Saturday I started seeing some customers come in, get their hay tools ready to go. It's always a good idea to get them, check them out before you start cutting, because then you don't want to be delayed when the weather is good. Weather is a big hay factor in cutting your hay, and it's always good to have proper equipment to get that hay up once it's the good weather permits.
Right. Well, I go back a little farther than you, and I remember when we had a couple of mules that pull that
Sickle mower.
Mower, yeah. And then you had this thing that you rake the hay with and get it in windrows, and then you shock it, and then you load it on the wagon and take it to the barn. And if you were lucky to have a hay rake or whatever they
Elevator.
call it. Yeah. Well, this is before elevator. When you had that big hay fork, it comes down, grabs a bunch of it, and a mule pulls out this way and takes it up the loft. I've been around.
Yes, sir.
I've done a little bit of that.
We matter of fact, we still have one of the horse-drawn sickle mowers out at the farm, and I know that hay grapple you're talking about too.
Yep.
I've seen a couple of those. Some people still use them from time to time, but of course we're in the modern era now. We've got disc mowers that have blades on them that rotate instead of move back and forth, reciprocate. And then we have rakes. We have rotor rakes and wheel rakes to get it in a real row. Then we have balers anywhere from 4.5 feet all the way up to 5 by 6 feet.
Doesn't most everybody do the round bales, the big round bales anymore? This is such a thing as a square bale anymore.
Kubota does not produce a square baler, but majority it is the round bales, just because they're more economical to haul, put up, and you have to have less manpower to put them up as well.
Well, I think that's something we've seen a big trend to, maybe starting in the 80s even, to have it where you didn't have to have a bunch of people to get the job done. A lot of things can be done if you've got the right equipment. One person can do them anymore.
Correct. It is a struggle to do it by yourself. Helping hand's always nice, but mechanized farming has definitely made it easier to feed the population that keeps growing.
Yeah. We have a predominant hay around here that most people cut.
It's just your normal grasses, your tall fescue, your Bermuda grass, your orchard grass. Not much alfalfa. I know some of your farmers will grow winter wheat. Some people were cutting it this weekend, or they'll be cutting it here shortly. And then they plant your select grasses.
Yeah. Well, I remember when alfalfa was a big thing in Lespedeza, and you don't hear those words much anymore.
Yes, sir. They're still out there. I've got some fields there at our family farm that do grow Lespedeza.
Yeah.
And that's a really good crop.
But livestock will eat a lot of things that grows out in the pasture, and when it you see our lot out here, we cut that and they bale. I mean, they have the big bales, and somebody gets the use of it 2 or 3 times a year. And this is just a few acres out here, and on a bigger scale, you can take care of anybody, right?
Yes, sir. We can. We can run you a combination mower setup on a 140 horsepower tractor, all the way down to a 4-disc mower on about a 56 horsepower tractor. Balers to go with it. We also offer wrappers if you looking at getting into the silage bales. They're a greener bale, more nutrient rich bale. Kubota offers 3 different types of wrappers as well.
Well, we can say about Absolute Kubota what Philip says about Absolute Rental. We have what you need.
Yes, sir.
You really do.
We do, yes, sir.
And if you don't have it, you can get it.
Yes, sir, we can.
All right. Well, good to see you today. We'll see you next Monday.
All right,
and thanks so much.
Thank you, Coleman.
T.R. Kirby, Absolute Kubota, 1506 West Main. And, of course, today we've talked about the hay equipment, but for all your Kubota tractors, hay equipment, zero-turn mowers, RTVs, everything from weed eaters to hay balers. We're 10.5 minutes after the hour, and I want to welcome State Representative Clark Boyd, who is live in studio with us this morning. And good morning, Representative Boyd.
Good morning, Coleman.
It is good to see you today. And I guess from your perspective, it's good that you heard sine die the other day and the legislative session is over.
It was music to my ears when we sine died. You know, you can't wait to get down there in December and early January, but by the end of April, you're ready to get home. You're ready to wrap it up, and so it really was nice to.
Well, y'all did just about what you had said, what we had heard all along. We'd probably go through April, and that's just about what you did. Friday was the 29th, I guess, or Thursday was the 28th. Anyway, Thursday's when you adjourned, wasn't it?
We did. Thursday was our last day,
right.
Yeah, and it was actually a decent hour. Sometimes we will go into the wee hours of the next morning, and we actually got done at a decent time on Thursday, and everybody drove home, and the sun was still out, so it's the first time I've ever seen that. And I've been down there. This is my 5th legislative year, and then we've had several special sessions, so I have been down there for adjournment, I don't know, 7 or 8 times, maybe more than that, just in my 4 years. It's just, and some people go, so is it 4 or 5 years? Well, I've been there 4 years and a few months, but I've been through 5 legislative sessions.
Yeah. Well, we are glad to see you today, and I guess this will kind of wrap up your coming out here, and we can talk about what all was accomplished, and hopefully we'll have a little time before we quit is what you're going to be doing till you meet again.
That's right.
But, of course, you have an insurance business that keeps you busy when you're not busy as a legislator. I mean, you've got a good staff, I think, that takes care of you, but you've been there long enough to get established, and it's pretty good, isn't it?
It is, yeah. We've have an insurance agency here in town. I do have great staff that take care of me there and take care of the customers and selling insurance when I have to step away to go to Nashville and come back and so I've been there since 2005.
And your company is
State Farm Insurance.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we won't charge you any extra. We're not charging you at all. But nice to get in a little plug there. I mean, after all, you give of yourself. You come out here and tell us what's going on, and we certainly appreciate you doing that. How would you rate what has taken place since January as good or bad? I'm sure there's a thing or two you don't necessarily agree with. There's probably some things you're very happy about.
Well, I think it's been a good year, and I think that to sort of do a little shout out for those men and women that dug the well that we're drinking out of now that served the generation before. They were faced with a decision at one point, and that is, how are we going to create revenue in this state? Are we going to tax your income? What are we going to tax? And so a decision was made that we are a state that is going to live almost exclusively off of sales tax. And that's not to diminish those folks that pay franchise excise tax or people that still pay a professional privilege tax. But when we did that years ago, a lot of people thought it couldn't work, but it has worked. It has worked very well. And oftentimes when legislators from Tennessee will go to these conferences where legislators come from all around the country, they will point to Tennessee as a model that works. And so there's only a handful of states that have sales tax on, or don't, let me rephrase that, they don't have an income tax. But oftentimes there's something like, Florida, where they have a real huge tourism industry, or Texas, where they have oil.
Yeah.
And so for Tennessee to be a landlocked state that lives off that, we're doing great, and the revenue is just coming in. And I think a lot of that was a couple of years ago when we finally recognized that a lot of the transactions were moving to the internet, and recognizing that we couldn't allow people to skip out on paying a sales tax just because they were buying it online. Once we establish that, I think the proof is in the pudding. Things are going great. We have record revenue coming in, and I do think things are going to slow down. All indicators are pointing toward, a recession around the corner, and we've been talking for years about the need to put money away into the rainy day fund, and I hope not, but I think a rainy day is probably coming, and so I think we've been very prudent and conservative with your money. If you're listening, I think we've made investments in infrastructure, capital projects. We have this year, the TISA thing, where we took a deep dive at how we fund public education in the state. Took a lot of feedback and input from a lot of stakeholders out there, and came up with a model that I think is going to work. And an example that I will give, and it's going to work out real well for Lebanon Special and Wilson County. They both, said, yeah, we like it, Clark, hope you vote for it, and I did. But under the old program, let's say that for every 500 students, you got a school counselor or something like that, and you're a small school district. Well, if you have 900 students, you don't have enough for 2 school counselors. You're probably going to have to. If you have 2 schools with 450 kids in each school, you're going to have a school counselor for each one. But the state only gives you enough money for one because you haven't hit that 1,000 student marker yet. And under this program, the funding is tied to each student. So if you had, 950 students, you would get 95% of what you needed for that. And so that goes a long way. You don't have those cliffs. And so I all in all, I think we're doing great, and we're listening and we're to our different state agencies and finding out what their needs are. And so I've got a lot of things I can talk about. I got a breakdown of the budget and some of the key things that we've passed this year.
All right, I'm going to just hand it over to you when we come back from our break. But right now it's time for a break on Coleman and Company FM 98.9.
And it's now 7:18. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Want to thank our friends at Bates Ford and the Works Vehicle Checkup. They'll make sure your vehicle is ready for any road. $49.95 up to 5 quarts oil, tax and disposal, tire rotation, safety check too. 1673 West Main. Now with traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Traffic's on the increase big time. Now, here we go. 24 up through the Hickory Hollow area, coming in from Davidson County, coming down I-40 through Mount Juliet. That traffic volume's on the increase, leaving Wilson County, headed towards Nashville. 2000 block of Murfreesboro Pike. It looked like a one-car wreck, and traffic's picking up even more in the last few minutes down. 65 coming past Briley. Hey, Gatlinburg Wine Cellar. It's home of the world-famous cotton candy wine. Yes, they have other flavors. Check them all out at GatlinburgWineCellar.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Gregory Dental Group in Lebanon is a family dental practice located across from Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. They offer cosmetic procedures, dental implant services, and now featuring new digital dentures. Premium dentures in just 2 appointments. No insurance, no problem. Call about our discount plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Derek Gregory. In my office, you can count on a compassionate staff who will truly listen to you, take the time to get to know you, and discuss your personal needs. I look forward to meeting you.
Gregory Dental Group, 444-0322, West Badura Parkway, across from Gibbs Pharmacy. This is Vincent Lenning from Burdine Supply, locally owned and operated for over 40 years. We provide residential and commercial plumbing and electrical supplies. We are located on Highway 70 just west of Highway 109. My staff and I are available to assist you with any project you may have. Conveniently located at 6966 Lebanon Road, Mount Juliet, Tennessee, quarter mile west of Highway 109. Call us today, 453-9222, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Burdine Supply.
Designer Carpets in Lebanon is your headquarters for flooring such as carpet, hardwood, laminate, vinyl, and tile from all of the major manufacturers. Designer Carpets installs luxury waterproof vinyl planks and tiles. They also do custom shower installations, backsplashes, and tub surrounds. Estimates are free and financing is available. Call Johnny or Rex at 453-3000. In business for 24 years at 1010 West Main, or visit designercarpetsoflebanon.com.
Now's the time to get a great deal on Kubota construction equipment, featuring durable Kubota engines, more comfort, more productivity, more get it done right. The Kubota construction lineup shows up ready to work every day. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment for 0 down, 0% APR for up to 48 months, now through June 30th. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for more details.
Absolute Kubota, 1506 West Main in Lebanon.
Coleman and Company, thanks for joining us here on a Monday morning. State Representative Clark Boyd here for the final time for this legislative session. Don't guess we're expecting any special sessions called this summer or fall as of right now.
Coleman, I hope not, but there was nothing that I'm aware of that would bring us back in.
Well, again, it's been nice to have you, and we appreciate you taking time to be with us. Now, we've got some things to finish up on this morning.
Yeah, absolutely. So this year we did pass a $52.8 billion budget. A lot of that jump was we have had record revenue coming in, but a lot of that's federal money. And I have to remind people, because sometimes people will say, well, Clark, the budget went up so much, like I should be ashamed of myself or something. But the reality is the federal government dropped a lot of money in our lap the last 2 years because of COVID-19. And when they give it to you, it goes into the budget. And so I think you'll see the budget go down next year as a result of that. So a lot of that is COVID money, but we've used this to do a lot of tax cuts. And so some of the things that I think are notable is that we have cut sales taxes for farmers. So agriculture machinery and equipment, for some reason, was not included previously in the exemption that farmers got. So we're doing that. And I thought that was interesting, yet with Kubota in here just a minute ago, but agriculture machinery and equipment. I had mentioned a couple of weeks ago that we were contemplating giving everybody a 1-year break from having to pay the state portion of their license or their tag renewal on their vehicle. That is going to happen July the 1st of this year to June the 30th of next year. So you'll save about $23.75 per vehicle. We are giving people a gun safe sales tax. So you don't have to pay a sales tax if you buy a safe to keep your guns in. That was something that we were able to get in the budget. There will be a food sales tax holiday in the month of August. And so that's any amount that the local governments would lose on that, the state will reimburse for that. So we're doing that. Another thing, the professional privilege tax, this has been something that used to tax a lot of different professions, and we have always tried to do away with it. And we will. I have voted for it in favor. I have voted in favor of it every year, but it will go behind the budget, and then they will try to match it up with some dollars and decide what they want to do. And this year, although I was supportive of a full repeal, what they decided to do was eliminate doctors from it. And I think they're slowly walking it in a direction. I would picture this going away in probably the next 3 years. Attorneys are still in it. Anybody that does investments, and then lobbyists. And there may be someone else I'm forgetting here, but I think this taking doctors off was a step in the right direction. So, and then the other one, there is we're with this push to get broadband out there, and a lot of state and federal dollars going toward broadband. We're giving them a break if they're putting broadband out there from paying sales tax on their fiber and equipment and stuff that they use, and that will sunset. They will eventually start paying taxes again, but they get a break till the year 2025. we are going in, and I told you about some of the stuff we're doing in public education. We're putting a lot of money into, a lot more money into public education. We're giving teachers a raise, a well-deserved raise, and one of the things we're always trying to do is to make sure that goes to the teachers and not used for other things. And as usual, we have identified that specifically for teacher raises. We are pumping a little bit of money into volunteer fire departments. Believe it or not, there's still a lot of volunteer fire departments across the state. I believe Watertown may be the only one we have in Wilson County, but they're very prominent in other parts of the state. We are hiring 100 new Tennessee Highway Patrol officers. We're hiring 20 new TBI agents. And we are stepping into DCS and making sure that our DCS case managers are receiving an increase in salary there. We're having a hard time retaining those folks. And change that we're making with state parks, instead of coming to the General Assembly and asking for money to do renovations and maintenance, we're actually going to allow 2% of the fees that they collect to go into a fund so that they can do maintenance and repairs to our state parks. We want to keep those in good shape, and
well, that's maybe a better way to do it. A certain percentage of what they generate can go into preserving the place.
That's right. To me, it just made sense. I'm surprised we haven't done it sooner. Yeah. We have made a change to higher education with regard to the Hope Scholarship. So right now, if you are a freshman or a sophomore, you get $1,750 a semester. In your junior and senior year, it goes to $2,250. We are bumping that up. So it will now be $2,200 for your freshman and sophomore. It'll be $2,850 for your junior and senior year. And so that's probably been needed for a while. It's been a while since they've bumped that up. And
well, I would think that has to be encouraging to the college students.
Yeah, it is. And Tennessee has done a lot of things to give folks opportunity to go to school. We've got the Tennessee Hope, we've got the Tennessee Promise, we've got the Tennessee Reconnect. I mean, and then we do tuition assistance for National Guard members, and if you're a member of the active duty military, you get in-state tuition. I mean, we are a very education friendly state when it comes to getting an education. I mean, there's just really no excuse in Tennessee. If you want to go to a TCAT, or if you want to go to a 2-year college, or if you want to go to a 4-year university, the opportunity is there in the state of Tennessee.
All right. We've got about 3 minutes left. I'm sure you've got more.
Yeah, we did. A couple of things we've done. So there was a bill that we got a little bit of pushback on, but I believed in this. In the Commerce Committee, there was a bill that would allow pipeline and infrastructure so if local groups tried to stop it, it made it harder for them to do that. It doesn't affect local zoning or anything, but it basically says you can't hold up a project. And I think that's getting more and more important when you look at things that we're seeing in Europe with regard to gas infrastructure, and then even in America. We from the Colonial Pipeline and then the Keystone Pipeline that has not been completed yet. This is important. I mean, we can't allow local fringe groups to fight something to the point that we don't have enough energy to turn the lights on or to keep our homes heated. So I thought that was important. We did pass that. And then Tennessee is working to make sure that we don't sell or give out any information that will be used for telemarketing purposes. In the past, it was easy for companies that wanted to solicit to go get that from state sources. I didn't realize that until we passed this bill, usually related to your automobile. Oh. And then you get all these calls, hey, your warranty's expired or whatever. Yeah. And so we're shutting that off. Now, that doesn't mean that people aren't going to still find other reasons to call and bother you, but they won't be using the state of Tennessee's resources or website to get that information.
Well, for me, that's good to hear.
Yeah. One of the things we did this year was truth in sentencing. We want to make sure that a lot of these violent criminals served 100% of their sentences. Instead of you being given, 12 to 15 years and getting out in 2 years, let's be more realistic with what your sentence is. And so if they're only going to serve 4 years, then say they're going to serve 4 years and make them serve the whole time. And so there's a lot of details in here as far as the different crimes that would qualify under this. But I think this is a big deal. I mean, the victims and the families of these victims shouldn't, 2 or 3 years after a violent crime or a murder, they shouldn't have to go to a parole hearing and push back every couple of years. So this would, for the person in prison, it gives them a definite time they're going to be there, and for the families, it gives them some help too. And what else we got here? We have work requirements in this state for people that are getting SNAP benefits, but they had been waiving that a lot of times, and so we went in and cleared that up. And honestly, Coleman, in this environment, I mean, you need to be looking for a job. There's no reason for somebody to say, "Oh, I can't find a job," And so we're hammering down on that, and there are work requirements in place. So I think that's going to be really good. And how much time do we have?
Well,
looks like we're out of
about
time.
through.
I will say this. I'll stop here, Coleman. Your state is in good hands, and we've done some good work this year. It is a privilege to serve. If you live in Lebanon or Watertown and I'm your state representative, it is an absolute privilege to serve as your state representative. If you need me or need any help with anything, my office number is 741-7086, and my assistant Sarah is there. We will try to get you taken care of. And I know we were mentioning earlier, I'm not on the ballot right now. My election is not until August, and I'm actually unopposed. So it's going to be a great year for me. But there is an election going on tomorrow, and I think a lot of people aren't aware of that. So if you hadn't voted yet, be sure to get out tomorrow and vote.
Well, thank you so much for being with us throughout this session, and we'll look forward to it again come January, if not before.
Thank you, Coleman.
All right. That's part one of Coleman and Company. We hope you'll keep it here for more. FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Now 7:31. This update brought to you by Absolute Kubota, fully staffed service center and parts department. Most of their minor services can be done the same day. Servicing Exmark, Kubota, Land Pride, Red Max, and Billy Goat, 1506 West Main. Now with traffic, here's Chuck.
We're starting to pick up on Vietnam vets coming inbound through Hendersonville. There's a crash. 24, it's eastbound near James White Parkway. It's over to the side. Traffic's picking up even more through Mount Juliet right now on I-40 headed towards Nashville. Princess Hot Chicken now available for catering. They're hiring at both locations. Check out that menu. PrincessHotChicken.com. I'm Commander Chuck. You're on-time traffic.
This is Coach Randall Hutto to many of you and your Wilson County Republican Mayor to the rest. Leadership is important, and we believe our track record speaks for itself. There's a reason why everyone wishes to call Wilson County home. By leading with conservative values, we have incredible schools, safe neighborhoods, some of the lowest taxes, and one of the best fiscally managed counties in Tennessee. To keep Wilson County great, we humbly ask for your vote in the Wilson County Republican primary. Early voting runs from April 13th through the 28th, and Election Day is on May 3rd. Paid for by committee to elect Randall Hutto Mayor.
This is Jason Partlow with Partlow Funeral Chapel and Partlow Cremation Center. Our family is committed to providing superior service to you and your family with personalized funerals, memorial services, cremations, and pre-planning. Our staff will help you in creating a meaningful service, allowing your family and friends to come together to remember and honor your loved one's life. Thank you, Lebanon and Wilson County, for your continued support. Family owned and operated since 1979.
A.G. & Johnson Realty and Auction, community trusted since 1977, is a proud sponsor of WANT's live election returns. Thank you for voting A.G. & Johnson Best Auction Company and Best Real Estate Firm in Wilson County. Remember, it's your voice, your vote. Find us at agandjohnson.com or Facebook, A.G. & Johnson.
Hey Cumberland Phoenix fans, I'm Wally Barton. I'm a pitcher on the Cumberland baseball team. It's been a roller coaster season for the Cumberland Phoenix baseball team, and it's not over yet. Stay tuned as the Phoenix battle their way through the postseason. Check the CU website at gocumberlandathletics.com for game dates and times, and listen to all the action on WANT 98.9 FM, WCOR 1490 AM, WANTFM.com, or gocumberlandathletics.com. Go Phoenix!
Now's the time to get a great deal on select Kubota subcompact and compact tractors. Our reliable #1 selling tractors are designed for easy operation and feature all the performance-matched attachments needed to tackle any job. Right now, put 0 down and get 0% APR for 84 months, plus save up to $1,200 now through June 30th. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com/offers for full disclaimer.
Visit Absolute Kubota, 1506 West Main Street in Lebanon.
This is Kenneth Hackett, and I am running for Circuit Court Clerk. I served with the Tennessee Highway Patrol for 33 years and retired with more time in Wilson County than any trooper in the history of THP. I have worked with the court system 33 years and have a working relationship with all law enforcement agencies. I have proven that I am a dedicated public servant, that I have integrity, and I am a trusted leader. I am asking for your vote on May 3rd or during early voting. Paid for by the committee to elect Kenneth Hackett for Circuit Court Clerk.
Hello, Wilson County. I am Larney Lassiter, candidate for county trustee. I was born and raised in Wilson County, and my dad always taught me to have a strong work ethic. For the past 36 years, I have been your hometown first responder. We need someone as trustee who will provide moral and ethical values, quality leadership, and a willingness to work hard. It would be an honor to serve as your trustee. Please vote Larney Lassiter in the May 3rd primary. Paid for by a committee to elect Larney Lassiter.
Partly cloudy skies to start your week. Look for highs in the low 80s today. Temperatures dip to 65 overnight before that chance of isolated storms returns. Be prepared for some rain on Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. We will keep you updated. This weather forecast is brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty, professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. That's a look at your forecast. I'm Number One Ned.
Coleman and Company, we welcome you to part 2. And here on a Monday morning, I'm all smiles because Billy Mullinax is here to brighten up our Monday. Good morning.
Good morning, Coleman.
Oh, Billy is the general manager for Rocky Williams Premier Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram of Mount Juliet, 600 Pleasant Grove Road. And he comes here each Monday, and we talk about no haggle pricing because at Rocky Williams, everybody pays the same great low price. Right?
That's exactly right, yeah. Coleman. Don't matter who you are, who you know, or who you don't know, you get the same great low price.
Well, it is good to see you always, and you always bring me my second cup of coffee, and we sit here and talk for 5 or 6 minutes about all you're doing down there in the no haggle pricing and how people love it.
Yes, they do, because that's the part that most people don't like about buying a new vehicle, Coleman, or anything that they buy that they have to negotiate. They like to be able to go in, no matter what they're buying, say, well, this is what the price is, and can I afford it, and do I like it, and do I like it enough to pay that? Mm-hmm. Somewhere along the line, the automobile industry and a few others got off to where they negotiate, and most people don't feel like they are good negotiators and don't like it.
Yeah, I think that has got to be a true statement. I think most people, at least 60 or 70%, and maybe 80 or 90, don't consider themselves really good negotiators and feel like they are at a disadvantage, especially when they're dealing with a typical car salesperson.
Well, and they are at a disadvantage, in all honesty, Coleman. I'm not a good negotiator. If we were not a one-price store, don't think I'd probably be in this business, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But where everybody pays the same great low price, it's fair, it's honest, it's a place where, regardless of who you are, you know that nobody can walk in and pay a lower price than what you're going to pay.
Well, most people start by going to your website, RockyWilliams.com, because that's where your entire inventory of new and pre-owned cars are available. RockyWilliams.com.
Might even see your neighbor there, Coleman.
Got it in again, didn't we?
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
Oh, we got to do that every Monday, and we do. But all kidding aside, that's really good because you do have all your vehicles for sale there. I mean, the new and the pre-owned, and all you got to do is go to RockyWilliams.com, see the no haggle price there, and see something you like. Decide whether you can afford it, and come see you.
And you can come see us.
Yeah,
you can come see us and take a look at it, drive it, and it's a good way to shop. Most people, I'd say 80 to 90% of the people probably start on the website, Coleman, and our price is clearly posted, so you don't have to do anything. To get that price on new vehicles, you don't have to wonder if we've included rebates that you may not qualify for, which so many other dealers are doing right now. Only rebates that we use are the ones that everybody in the Southeast Business Center receives. And if you are eligible for other rebates, then we certainly want to make sure that you get those.
Well, you just do that the right way. You don't include a rebate in the price unless it's there for everybody. Then if you qualify for more, you're glad to see them get it, but you don't have that out there as some carrot dangling in your face to get you in and then take it away from you.
Yep, that's exactly right, Coleman. It's just our whole process is just designed to be fair, honest, and transparent, to where you know what you're getting at what price you're going to pay.
And of course, you're at 600 Pleasant Grove Road, great location on the easy side of
That's right.
You came up with that, and I love that. The easy side of Mount Juliet.
Easy side of the interstate.
And I don't know how much longer it's going to be that way, because they're about to get that done, I think. But I think it's still going to be the easy side.
It'll still be the easier side, I'll say that. Yes, yes.
All right. Well, Billy, this is today the end?
Today is the last day of April for the automotive month, Coleman.
So that does mean your trade-in might be worth $100 to $200 more today, maybe.
Might be worth a tad bit more.
So if you want to get in on the very end of the April automotive month, go in today.
Come in today. Come see us.
Well, I think you've had a good April.
We have. We've had a great April.
Right. And we look forward to hearing the same thing when the month of May is over.
All right.
A great May. And we'll see you next Monday.
Thank you, Coleman.
Thank you. Billy Mullinax, General Manager for Rocky Williams Premier Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram of Mount Juliet, 600 Pleasant Grove Road. Well, it is 19 minutes before 8 o'clock. I want to welcome Sheriff Robert Bryant. He is live in studio with us this morning. Been patiently waiting here to be on the air with me. And good morning, Sheriff.
Good morning, Coleman.
How are you?
I'm good. It's a beautiful day out in the morning.
Yes, it is. And I don't know what all is going on here of late, but there's always a lot of things to talk about. And I've got to mention something this morning. I know that you've heard the music of the judge, Wyoming Naomi, and that was such a tragic story to hear and to. They've been around, I guess, since the 80s, and mother and daughter who sang a bunch of songs that I like Mama, He's Crazy.
That's right.
And Love Can Build a Bridge, and a lot of others. But those things happen. We have to deal with it. But
it's tragic, and I think it was yesterday they got into the Hall of Fame.
Right. Yeah.
So it's very sad.
Well, what's happening in your world? We do have an election tomorrow. We might mention that. You are unopposed as Sheriff of Wilson County.
Yeah, yes, sir. It's tomorrow is the election day, and people can still go out there and vote. And early voting's over, but they still got one more opportunity tomorrow. And I encourage everybody that that's their right. They need to go out there and vote.
And while we're talking about that, Judge Tatum will be here tomorrow night and join me for election returns, along with MJ and Billy and Susie and whoever else is needed to get the job done. But we'll be on air starting at 7 o'clock.
Wow.
But this is nice for you, being sheriff, not to be opposed. And
it is. We've still been out and about doing making our rounds and seeing people and shaking hands, and even though we don't have an opponent, but we've got to let the people know that we appreciate it, and it's
Well, I'll have to say this: at that fundraising night that the Senior Citizen Center had, your presence was very much in place, and your generosity showed tremendously over there.
I think everybody knew I was there, but that's a great organization, and
well, your mother loves the place.
She does.
And so you were very generous, probably a little bit because of her.
Yeah,
maybe.
and that, and plus the Senior Citizen Center is a great place, and I look forward to that event every year.
Well, I think you ought to say hi, Mama, this morning.
Hello, Mother.
Is she Mother or Mama?
Mama.
Okay. What do we need to talk about?
Well,
today?
it's it's beginning of summertime. We're working budget time. We're talking about budgets right now. We got a meeting this week, and we in the office we've been preparing our budget for next year, and it's just the beginning of the process, and we'll have to work through all the committee meetings and the commission meetings to try to get something done before June. Being they're passing the budgets now before the July 1st, so it's we got a lot of things on their plate, and we all departments do across the county because of it's this growth and everything else is affecting every department. But we got to be responsible and get the stuff that we need, and that's what we're working on.
Will you maybe because of inflation and higher gas prices and this sort of thing, be asking maybe for a little bit more in nearly every line item, or is there one specific area where you're going to have a lot more?
Well, no, but it's just, we're going to turn in a status quo budget, status quo, the same amount of money we spent last year, and I think we're going to take that wait and see approach. We did have to go back and get some extra money for gas and food and medical supplies, I believe it is, for this year, probably a couple of months ago. So it's a wait and see approach, but we are turning a status quo budget, same amount we spent last time, and but the main thing we need to take as a county needs to look at, number one is our employees, and we need to look at, how we're going to compensate them for the job they're doing, and but that's a big part of what we're pushing for. And second of all, we got this new jail coming online, this expansion coming online middle of next year, so some personnel issues are going to be addressed.
Okay, Sheriff Robert Bryan is with us. It's time for us to take a break. This is Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And it's now 7:46. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. And it's all brought to you by Absolute Kubota, a fully staffed service center and parts department. Most of their minor services can be done the same day. Servicing Exmark, Kubota, Lamprey, Red Max, and Billy Goat, 1506 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Busy here on 40 westbound, trying to get off onto Broadway into Mumbrium downtown. Once you come off the South Loop, traffic's picking up with that traffic now coming out of Wilson County down I-40 through Mount Juliet. Sure, we've seen a couple of accidents out here the last 10-15 minutes. That one's still being clear from earlier. 15,000 OHB there in South Nashville. Princess Hot Chicken now available for catering. They're also hiring at both locations. Check out that menu at princesshotchicken.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
What is your passion? How can you use that passion to enrich your community? Hi, this is Melanie Minter, President and CEO of the Lebanon-Wilson County Chamber of Commerce. Your chamber is the resource for making connections to fulfill your passion. Whether education, nonprofit, agriculture, entertainment, or government relations, Wilson County offers a place for you to be involved. Your chamber connects businesses, individuals, and your passion to the community. We have an enthusiasm for excellence. Join us and catch the spirit. Call or visit our office at 149 Public Square in Lebanon.
This is Coleman Walker inviting you to join Judge Barry Tatum and me for live election coverage starting when the polls close at 7 p.m. on May 3rd. Brought to you by A.G. & Johnson Realty and Auction, Burdine Supply, Designer Carpets, Partlow Funeral Chapel, Powell & Meadows Insurance, Steve Mull Plumbing, and the Wilson Post. Join us for live election coverage of the primary election returns May 3rd starting at 7 p.m. on WANT FM 98.9 and WCOR AM 1490.
Do you know why Rocky Williams Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Mount Juliet sells so many cars, trucks, SUVs, and muscle cars? Well, it all starts with a simple idea. Why not give everyone a hassle-free shopping experience for their new or used vehicle with no haggling, no negotiating, and no runaround? Every vehicle on the Rocky Williams lot is marked down incredibly low with the price posted on the window. You're treated with fairness and respect every time. No pressure, just a friendly, warm, inviting staff dedicated to finding the exact vehicle you need. So Rocky Williams Premier Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram has become the original no-haggle, one-price dealer. Go online to rockywilliams.com to see the incredible deals yourself. Every car and truck is listed with a no-haggle low price. This is for real, and you're gonna love it. People drive for miles to get some of the lowest prices in America on their new or used cars or trucks. Go to rockywilliams.com or come on over to our brand new spacious dealership next to Walmart in Mount Juliet.
This is Ray Edwards with Powell & Meadows Insurance Agency. For your home, auto, life, and health insurance, Powell & Meadows can assist you with a plan that's right for you at a price you can afford. We also provide business insurance, including commercial property, general liability, business auto, and workers' compensation, tailor-made for your company. With locations in Lebanon, Carthage, and Lafayette, Powell & Meadows Insurance Agency can start saving you money today. Call 444-7000.
All right, we continue here on a Monday morning. Sheriff Robert Bryant. One thing we might point out here, and this is sort of something we laugh about a little bit. I don't know how serious you are about it, but sometimes you get on me a little bit about whenever the first of the year comes around, and our legislators who were here before you came on every first Monday, and when they're here, you come on the second half, but come June next month, you'll be here in the 7 o'clock slot instead of 7:30.
That's right. We got to let the listening audience know I'll be 7 o'clock next month, so it's important.
Well, I think you do love to come out here, and we certainly love to have you.
Yeah, I do. I enjoy it. Now tomorrow night, Judge Tatum's going to be here. It might be a little different story, but I will make it through it, won't we, Coleman?
Well, we look forward to the election returns tomorrow night, and I know especially those people whose names are on the ballot, they look forward to it. And now with you, it's not so important. The main thing you're wondering is how many votes you're going to get, not who's going to win.
That's right, and who wrote in any other names in my race. That's what I look at. So.
Well, it's what elections are all about, and there's winners and losers, of course, and. Everybody, when you put your name out there, there's a chance you're not going to win. It's sort of like when you play a ball game. One's going to win, one's going to lose.
That's right. And when you do that, you not only put your name, you're putting your family's name and all your friends' name and everybody else on there too. So it's a big step. And like I said, but you want to win, and you got to work for it. So
yeah. Well, we've had some bad accidents. That's the thing that happened on the square the other day. It's not the city police, I think, handle this right there, their jurisdiction, let's say. But when anything like that happens, and somebody that is allegedly and reportedly driving under the influence, and then hits somebody, on the square hard enough to cause a traffic fatality, that's really bad. And
it is, and it's tragic what happened. I know that family of the victim, but it's sad, and they're going to have to they'll be without their wife and their mother, and it's a sad situation. And
well, at the same time, I feel sorry. I feel for somebody that would be in such a situation, have no more control over themselves than to do something like that. And then surely once it's all over, their life is changed, and I would think probably facing prison time and all this, and then realizing what you've caused the loss of a life of somebody. That's would be hard to deal with.
And yeah, Coleman, we've been we hear that, we've heard that for years.
Yeah.
People that's done stuff like this, and it's but for some reason they still go out there and do it. And
well, even though you weren't directly involved in the in taking care of this, it's still something that grabs your attention, and you no doubt talk to your people about it. You work on these sorts of things probably all the time.
And that's right. We work on that all the time, because you still gonna have drunk drivers out there, intoxicated drivers, and that's why you see us all the time having DUI saturations and different roadblocks and things across the county to try to prevent things like this. Coleman, this happening right at the end of the day, and it's sad, and but we wasn't directly involved in it, but we're directly involved in it now because she was brought to jail.
Yeah.
And she and she'll have to go through the court system, and we'll see how it turns out. And it's it's sad. So.
One of the things that you are having to do more of, we talked about this a little bit, I think, last time you were here, but as the county grows and as we get more subdivisions and we have more roads, and you have to have, I think, patrolmen, and there are more roads to have patrolmen on. I don't know how many more patrolmen you got, but they have a lot of roads to watch over.
Yes, we've been saying that. We've added more rooftops and roads than we have patrol officers, okay? So we're behind. It's hard to keep up, and, it's, we get complaints daily about, people driving too fast, people, whatever, and it's, we try to address them, and, we'll go to an area for a short period of time as long as we can stay, and at some point we have to leave and go somewhere else.
Let me ask you, we've talked about 109 for years. I mean, the construction was down there, and construction took a while, but then it finally gets finished, and even yet, it can be dangerous at times.
We've had a lot wrecked. It's a nice and 4 or 5 lane, whatever road it is, and it's new, but we've had a lot of wrecks out there. And actually, I got called last week from a news media outlet, asking how many wrecks have we had on 109 since it's opened up, and we've had several. We've had a couple of fatalities, and it's but that's a state road, and we work with the highway patrol, and our cars out there all the time. But it's again, I said it before, it's a cut through from I-40 to Gallatin or whatever, and it's a pretty road, but it's still dangerous if people don't slow down.
Well, as the weather has warmed up, of course, we didn't have a lot of rain in April, but it is getting warmer, and most of our little winters, I think, have come. I don't expect to see any more frost, but what I'm getting at, as it gets warmer, people get out, and they travel more, especially when the spring comes, and cabin fever has been prevalent. You want to get out, you want to do things, and sometimes you're exuberant and you go too fast.
I think you're going to see more of people getting out this year than we have in the past. Main fact, we're coming out of the COVID lockdowns and all that stuff. It opened up a lot last year. I think it's going to open up more this year because it's a lot going on in this county, in this region. You'll say just Middle Tennessee area. And I really think you're going to see more and more people get out, and what that means to us, we're going to have more and more people out watching them. So,
well, you have to make an example out of some of them. You can't catch everybody that's going more than 10 miles over the speed limit or whatever you mostly look for, but you get some of them, and hopefully that will encourage others to slow down when they hear about it.
There's an area of the county out towards the Glade. We kept getting calls about speeders, and they're building a 500 or 600 house subdivision right in the middle of the Glade, and you got dump trucks, and you got all this equipment, and you got people, cars, and we just kept getting complaints, and you talk about making an example of people. Yeah, we made an example out of people. We don't like writing tickets, but we spent about a week and a half out there just making examples out of people. Now, will it slow them down for a little while? But it's, we don't like it, but we have to.
Hey, we got 2 minutes left, and I just thought of something. The legislature just closed. Was there any particular legislation that got passed that you really were anxious about to be done, or some that maybe you didn't like?
Well, there was a couple of things that one of them was reimbursement on state inmates, the state inmates that we have to house, that we can't get rid of. The governor and the Speaker of the House and Senate actually met with the sheriffs last month, and after that meeting, it come out they was going to pay us more money for housing these inmates that we can't get rid of. So we're getting like $2 more and plus maybe a $3 more increase. So we're talking about $5 increase per day per inmate. So, we don't want to keep these inmates, but that will help a little bit.
But at least you're happy about that.
Oh, yeah. Well, all the sheriffs across the state was happy because they can't get rid of them.
Yeah.
And I'd love to get rid of them, but I can't.
Anything else that you either was very much for or very much against?
There was some money set aside, and I heard Representative Boyd talk about the money set aside for the troopers for hiring personnel there, and some money for the Tennessee TBI, hiring some more investigators there. We work with both of them agencies, and we see, you're talking about wrecks. We've got to have more highway patrol people because they're working all our wrecks.
Yeah.
So it's important that they was funding some extra personnel there.
All right. Well, again, we'll remind everybody tomorrow is Election Day, and early voting ended last Thursday, I believe. But tomorrow will be Election Day for all those who didn't early vote. And you don't vote early and vote often.
That's
you
right.
Vote
one time.
But we'll have the results tomorrow night. Judge Tatum and I will be here with our crew, as we've already said. And Sheriff, next month, which is June, on the first Monday in June, you'll be here at 7:10 instead of 7:40.
Yes, sir. I'll be
Or
here.
the first half,
That's
not
right.
the second half.
That's right.
Good to have you today. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That is it for a Monday. Join us tomorrow for Coleman and Company. Till then, I wish you a magnificent day.